Joining me today, I have Dr. Timothy Sisk of the Moody Bible Institute. He is a professor there. Thank you so much for joining me today.
It's a joy to be with you.
Absolutely. So, you are going to be one of the main speakers at Missionfest Manitoba 2023. We are so excited to have you. Have you ever been to Manitoba before?
I have not, so it'll be my first time and looking forward to it.
Absolutely, as are we. So, Dr. Timothy, I would love for you to share a little bit more about what you do and the ministry and just even Moody Bible Institute, what it's all about.
Sure. Moody Bible Institute's an institute that trains men and women for Christian ministry, both in North America and across the globe. So I've been a part of this ministry for 19 years. Before that, I served as a missionary both in Japan and Bolivia. So that's kind of my background. And at Moody, I teach intercultural studies. So I'm primarily training men and women to do cross-cultural ministry across the globe.
Something that you have experience with.
Exactly.
That is amazing. I would love to hear in the last, year or two as a professor, do you have these moments where you get to see like God in your work? You've been doing this for 19 years. Do you ever get stories maybe back from people where they're like, hey, I did this and, your course really inspired me or, those kinds of things?
I do, thankfully. So I've been teaching for 19 years, and as a result, I've had the opportunity of investing in the lives of hundreds of students in that way. So they're spread out across the globe. I ask them all to put me on their newsletter list, and so I get those regularly. I probably get 4 or 5 a day. And my commitment to them is to read all of them and to respond to all of them. So every day I'm responding to students across the globe. And so it's just fun to hear what they're doing. Some of them are in closed countries where you can't really talk about where they're serving. Some of them are in places like Japan, where I grew up. And so they're back there kind of taking my place in many ways and proclaiming the gospel there.
That is truly incredible. You were, in this work. Now you are planting all of these seeds that are bearing fruit already. It's incredible.
It is. It's a lot of fun to see that happen across the globe. And one of the other privileges I have is to, in the summer times, to be able to visit them and see where they are and what they're doing, and to be encouraged by how these men and women are sacrificing their lives for Christ.
Absolutely. As you had just mentioned, some of these countries, are really closed off to the gospel in different ways. I just released a report about how the World Watch list, they released their new list. North Korea is back at the top, and the top 11 um, countries are under extreme persecution. So there are, quite a few of those countries where, being a Christian is very dangerous. It can be
Yeah.
very dangerous.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, something to pray for our brothers
Exactly.
and sisters.
Yeah.
When it comes to Manitoba Mission Fest, I would love to hear, even in general, what people can expect when they come to hear you speak.
Well, my hope is to challenge this next generation. My understanding is most of them are younger. And so my hope is to inspire them and to paint a picture for them of what we as followers of Jesus Christ can be doing to engage the world with the gospel of Jesus Christ, and to engage the world as men and women who take good news across the globe.
Absolutely. And the theme, Holy Ambition, does that strike a chord with you at all?
Well, my approach is going to be to approach it from the book of First Peter. So I think Peter has a lot to say about that. He was living in a very difficult culture in his day with Nero as emperor, and yet he's encouraging those men and women that he calls aliens and strangers and foreigners to engage their world in very different ways. And so my hope is to kind of pick up some of the themes from First Peter and to challenge the people there with that.
Well, I love it. Thank you so much for, agreeing to this. We're excited to see you here in Manitoba, Canada. It's a little chilly, but we're warm with our welcome. So
Well,
looking
I'm
forward
looking
to it.
forward to it, yeah, as well. And so I look forward to being there in a few days.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time and sharing with our listeners. We appreciate it.
My joy.